I want to ride a route that I'm trying to set up as a permanent all around the Finger Lakes. Finger Lakes right here in the center of New York. I'm going to start at Ithaca. I'm going to head this way. So I'm expecting some rain during this ride. But it's saying, you know, a half of a millimeter per hour. That doesn't sound like a lot, does it? I'm not going to do this at brevet speeds. I'm creating a route to submit as a permanent for Randoneers USA that circumnavigates and touches each of the 11 Finger Lakes in New York. And I wrote it on a couple years ago, maybe last year I wrote it for my first time. I've improved it since then. I've improved the routes, and I've ridden it on a motorcycle to scout it out a little bit more and improve the directions on the cue sheet. I feel like I want to write it one more time before I submit it to RUSA. And it's the weekend of Halloween in 2021. And the weather is going to get colder and colder, and I feel like this is probably my last shot to do it. Oh, this will stop. This will stop. Well, kind of a late start packing this morning, and it's still raining outside, but it should stop soon. And got the bike back. I'm gonna take a square rando bag in the front. Got this old Duluth saddle bag in the back. Called it a Baggins bag. I guess Rivendell used to sell these things. A couple of places for me to store some layers if I need to dump them. It's amazing how big this bag is compared to my camper long flap. I mean, it is deep. And I'm able to hold a bunch of stuff in here. So I've got I don't want to unpack the whole thing again, but tools, 3 tubes, a sleeping bag, mattress in the back there. And it just goes way deep back in here. It's like tons of room. So I still have room in there. And then the acorn on the front. Still got a bunch of things I got to throw in there, and I'll have my GPS mounted up here. In fact, I might as well just click that in there right now. There we go. And the point of this ride, mostly, is to validate some cue sheets I'm building so that this can be like an official RUSA ride. So I'll be following this. And I'm going to have a battery brick with my phone, with Ride with GPS, talking to me as I go. So between all of those 3 different ways, that's usually how I keep on track. Just pumped up the tires. It's just a matter of waiting for the rain to stop and just getting myself dressed. Rain, rain, go away. We're planning to do, Jim decided to come. I didn't think he was going to come. I thought he thought it was a terrible idea to go ride in the rain, but I guess he wants to come. So the point of this ride is to validate the GPS route and cue sheets, and to do a little cowboy camping. We don't have a tent. Just going to bring a tarp. That's what I got to bring, a tarp. And I think we're going to find a kind of a stealth spot about halfway through this ride. We're not going to do the whole 400K in one shot with a late start and rainy weather. We're just looking to get out and enjoy the last bits of the season. Making my way over to the start of the route. Rain sort of let up. A little after 10. And Jim said he'd be a couple minutes late too, so see who's the latest. Starts at Cass Park and at the ice skating rink. Just the beginning of the route. I'm making my way over there now. Guess I'm not the only dummy out here in the rain. Messing around with my GPS using this E-Trex. I think Jim uses the same one. Kind of a goofy navigation, but it's kind of bomb-proof because all you use are, you know, a little joystick and a couple buttons on the side. Once you get used to it, it's pretty good. I've got that going, and I'll be using Ride with GPS. You can see that. Got the map up there. Hopefully it'll be giving me turn-by-turn instructions. This I'll be able to watch. And then I've got the cue sheet where I hopefully will be able to follow along. Make sure I don't have any mistakes. Alright, I've started, and it looks like Jim is down the road a little bit, so I'm going to meet him up in about a quarter mile or so. Alright, first right here. I'm going to be going past the train. Yep, this is the first climb out of Ithaca. If you can use the sidewalk, I'm off the sidewalk now, but there's the sidewalk. It'd be a good idea to use it. This goes on for, I don't know, a mile or two. Alright, so we've climbed mostly out of Ithaca, and thinking about it, what you might want to do if you don't like climbing first thing is start this ride maybe in Homer and ride to Ithaca and then make your way around and then end in Homer. That might be a good way to alter this perm so that, you know, you're not climbing first thing. There's Jim back there. Sprayed, Mr. No Fender. Probably sort of silly. We're gonna go on Route 79 west to Watkins in a bit, but to try to keep us out there for a little bit, I routed us across the road here, and we're gonna take this little street called Maple Street. Sort of looks straight on the map, but it's kind of not, and up the hill. Jim says this is more scenic but harder. It might be true. I'm going to keep it this way anyway, so that I don't end up putting people over on 79 too much. Kind of a busy road. So as we get close to Watkins Glen, you could take a trip into the Finger Lakes Forest and over the spine between the two lakes. And we're going to go a little bit south and get a really nice view of Watkins Glen and the town in Seneca Lake. Down there's Watkins Glen. The town, and straight across is the actual glen, the gorge called Watkins Glen. And down there, I'm hoping we can see Montour Falls. Jim's going on ahead. We'll stop here, see the wetlands south of Seneca Lake. I don't know if you can see. Watkins Glen is kind of right there. And Seneca Lake. We're going to go right down along the shore there to Clue Park. Really shedding a lot of water off the sides of the hill here. There's Blue Park. We've got a place to use the restrooms, facilities there. This is probably as close as you're going to get to Seneca Lake. You could go in the park, take a dip if you want to. Not really. I don't think that's allowed, but I think I've seen people doing it. So now we're going to go straight through Watkins Glen, climb up the ridge right up ahead of us, and make our way over to Cuca Lake. Jim's off to get himself a bite to eat at this pizza shop here. I'm gonna bring my own sandwich and just hang out here while he orders. Stopped for some pizza and it started to rain. Might be starting to stop too. I don't know. But back on with the rain gear. So we're climbing up out of Watkins Glen, and we're kind of going to go north of Sugar Hill. Sugar Hill's a big climb. We're not going to do all of it. Just going up here for a little bit, then we're going to head north. Yeah, an easy route out towards Cuca Lake. Sort of figures as soon as you get all the rain gear on, rain stops. I had a sneaking suspicion it would do that. That's what the forecast said it was going to do, but now I'm climbing in rain gear. I think I'm gonna take it all off when I get up here. Well, take the rain gear off. Off they go. If anyone else lashes their clothes to the back, if you wrap all your clothes up in the rain jacket and then stick it on the back, save some room. Jim's gone. Watkins Glen in the background. One of the many Finger Lakes wineries. Never had their wine. Nice landmark though. So I think this is the turnoff on 28. I mean, it kind of looks like it's just 28, no big deal. You can tell by the surface of the road that it bears to the left. But you could make the mistake of going straight here. But I did label it in the cue sheets as an unsigned road. And you can see there's some railroad tracks ahead. Put that in the cue sheet. So you'd make a quick left and a quick right here. Hopefully no one misses that. I'm not sure how best to describe that when there's no signs on roads. So it's been raining in central New York, Finger Lakes area for a couple of weeks, and everything's saying flash flood this, flash flood that. Probably not the best time to it's probably not the best time to go on a bike tour, but it's also kind of cool to see all the ditches, all the streams, all the falls gushing. I mean, I don't know how else you're gonna find that. Kind of makes for a bit of a dramatic and memorable ride. So maybe this was a great idea. Maybe I'll think better about it later on. I don't know. Real shimmy. We're on LA Road, or LA, heading over towards Cuca Lake. Little climbs here. Gonna be a little bit of gravel, seasonal road, or something up ahead. Forget exactly what it is. I think it's just some crushed stone. And still sprinkling, but it's doable. It's a good day for mud guards, fenders, things like that. Right now, this is smooth as a baby's bottom. Yeah, Alte Road is pretty hilly, and in its wet state, the downhills are great, and going up the hills, not as great. Also carrying a lot of stuff here, so a little different than the last time I did it. But it ends at the Preemption Road, gets paved again, you get a little downhill, so that's nice. It's really quite beautiful up here. Starting to see a little more colors than we've had along this route, so that's nice. Die-hard fishermen, I guess, out here in the rain. Juanita and Lamoka on our way to Cuca Lake. Nice climb out of here. That hill coming away from Livonia, Juanita Lakes can really suck the life out of you. Once you get to the top of it, it's a couple more little rollers that continue to punish you a little bit, but I'm looking forward to that downhill into Hammondsport and the view of Cuca. I think Jim's kind of gonna call it quits in Hammondsport. Keep going, see how it goes. Sort of ridiculous. It's kind of misty out up here. We're at the turnoff to Hammondsport. I'm not even sure we're going to be able to see the lake. It's pretty froggy up here. Take a look. It's good. Cuca Lake and some colors. A lot of fog. I don't know, I think that's pretty. Getting that long view. Check out back there. Big downhill with a stop at the bottom. Be careful. I'd say this is the park where you could get the closest to Cuba on this route. Right before the school. There we go. Someone's little private airport or something. So I'm on South Valley Road. This is a change I've made to the route since the last time I rode it. The road that goes from Hammondsport to Bath is pretty busy, fast, wide highway. And this is a little more roundabout, but a whole lot more scenic. And what's that I see up there? It's the first time I've seen that. See a little blue sky. This valley is pretty nice, lots of colors. I'm poking along here. There is no rush on this ride. This is me just relaxing. And you'll notice I'm now by myself. Like I said, Jim didn't want to, thought this might be kind of a crazy ride. And he's right. It's kind of a weird time of year to go for a bike tour. But he decided to give it a whirl anyway. He was game for it, came along. And then in Hammondsport, he said, not feeling it. So he's got a ride going back to Ithaca. I'm just going to keep plunking away here. No rush. Just hoping to have a good day out. Gosh, if the weather keeps shaping up, it's going to be a nice day out. All right, this ride is over. It's a little after 5 and I'm about 4 miles from Bath, New York. Maybe about, I don't know, 5 to 10 miles from where I left Jim. And I pulled in. I was going down this road called Fish Hatchery Road, and there's a fish hatchery. I was like, oh, I'll stop in and see the fish hatchery. So I pulled in. There's a nice sign that says display pond where you can see all these trout. I was like, I'm gonna check it out. So I pulled in there and I squeezed my front brake and I heard ka-chink. And now my front brakes, this little attachment here, this little brake stop on the front, I can show you that good. That normally, I'm pretty sure I got this together wrong, but basically this whole part came apart. And you can see like this nut, the nut that holds it to the back of this bracket came off. So now the whole thing falls apart. And you know, you can see that, whoops. And now it's on the ground. So you can see this piece here, this little swivel in my hand is typically attached to this little swivel here, and the other part goes up into that slot. And it's all held together with a nut, and the nut's gone, and I just don't feel comfortable. I just don't feel comfortable going forward with just a rear brake in the hills around the Finger Lakes when it's wet. Wouldn't be good anytime. So 55 miles out of 250. and I sadly have to call it a day. Ride is over. We're doing the pedal of shame into Bath. Well, for what it's worth, this different way down to Bath from Hammondsport is a bit alright. I like it. Wish I could keep going. I'm not going to be able to validate much more of this route by bike this year. I don't think we're going to have any more nice weekends that I have free anyway. The weather's supposed to turn cold, so I might validate a little bit more of it by car and then submit it to RUSA, and it's about the best I can do.